These are stones that, honestly, you should have come equipped with. The fact you were not given any is an oddity. These are... She puzzles over the word, as there's no correct word in Common, Elvish, or any known language to describe them. You can treat them as a key. They unlock individuals.
Individuals...
Potential.
there's skill points.
No, they're feats.
In this world, as per the packet, a grandmaster who has worked something their entire life caps out at level 4.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, right.
This is that.
There are a limited number of these stones, Etha explains, that were created that can be used to unlock individuals who are noted for needing the skills to lead. Most of the kings and nobility, the high-class nobility, like second in line for a throne, have gotten unlocked. With the rituals they use, a stone is bound to a person. Once it has been used to unlock you, it will not unlock someone else.
Even after that person dies?
After that person dies, it can be used again.
Okay.
There are 8 stones.
Identify.
There's only
so
2
we
of
can
them.
make more.
That's what I was going to say. Get on my head, man.
Unlock the whole
I am trying to copy the runes I see on a piece of parchment.
It ain't gonna work that way.
I know.
Yeah.
Not at our level.
Still. Might as well get it down so I know it.
There is a ritual that will take place. She indicates they will need to power this rune. They have enough loose wood and vegapigme stuff that they will just toss those. The runic fires will consume the corpses. It'll also consume what isn't needed. The various brushes, that brush that's being cleared out. All of that will be consumed in the runic fire and allow it to be briefly powered. She looks at it and puzzled as it's a 2-layer rune. Again, that's not normal. They've never really had time to study it, as only the first expedition really was able to set up here. Others were able to get here for a time being before they had to leave. Her expedition being the final one that was able to set up in the central city. But they didn't stay long, courtesy attacks from locals.
Now, where is the second level ruin set up?
12 feet above the other one, in a telescopic pattern of one and then another.
Okay.
It is about 1/8 of a mile in diameter.
Is it like above the mines or in the mines, or?
The rune is in the very center of the city.
Okay.
The bottom rune taking up 1/4 mile in diameter. Top of a mountain. She indicates that they can go ahead and get the fires lit, and at your leisure, they will be able to walk you through the ceremony.
Alright.
Alright.
Let's worry about encampment.
How many stones we have?
8.
8. It is the entirety of the stones from the 5th expedition.
Okay.
They were left with the 2 groups, as the other groups were supposed to rendezvous with them once they had completed their scouting missions.
Now, with these ruins, are we going to have to keep them on us at all times, or?
No. They will be left in the city near the runic fire.
Okay.
What about the other 2? There's 6 of us.
2 random citizens. That would be, turned into PCs when one of us dies.
I don't know about that.
Probably us, because we're elves.
Well, I mean, once we die, our stones can be used again, so...
Yep.
Does there seem to be any of them that are active?
No. The stones they provided you are all inactive.
Okay.
Alright. When do you guys want to go through the ritual?
I don't know about you guys, but I would like to have at least some sort of defensible position before we start doing something
They have,
that we don't have any knowledge.
as they have begun unboxing and setting stuff up here, all of the unused packing and carrying material has fortified the gate.
Yeah, I'd like to at least take a day on it. And, you know, I know not everybody's up to full
I
strength.
say it's around 7 p.m. at this point in time.
Yeah, he said it takes a full week to get a full rest, right?
Yeah.
It will take you guys 4 more days, yes.
Okay.
You guys want to start? You want to try and do that at the beginning of the week? Give us a little bit more of a better chance. We don't know what's going to happen.
Sure. That sounds fine.
Yeah, I mean, I can only do so much.
Yeah, I guess we'll set it for a week
Okay.
at the start of new
So
week.
4 more days.
Yeah, when you said we can't be doing strenuous activity, can we still be helping them, like, set
You guys
up
are going to be unpacking, setting basic stuff up.
Okay.
I would like to worry about setting up a hunting party to try to slowly but spiral out to scout out the area for game and food, so we're not using our
Yeah.
rations.
There was evidence of some kind of herding animal down the farm area.
So I'd like to work on that for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Especially with Lucky Fish.
Well, go ahead and give me both of you give me survival rolls.
Oh God, today is not a good day. 7.
9.
Yeah, you guys just switched for the session.
All right, give me once more.
Oh, come on. That's cocked. That's okay. That's 16.
16 as well.
All right. First day you guys were out, didn't really find anything. Second day we were out, you stumble across the Vegapygmies pens, to call them. Figure out what they, for lack of a better term. You see that there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 70 rabbits.
It's not bad. On
That-
top of that,
Yes.
the Outlander feet, we would be grabbing up food as well.
Yeah.
Just to function as the group.
Yeah, there's enough plant life that
Yeah.
you guys are keeping up relatively fed.
Okay. I'm just,
Yep.
saying it because if I don't,
Yep.
I'll get backstabbed. So pen of like 50 to 70 rabbits. I'll definitely find somebody that's in the camp that's suited to handle that.
Yeah, they're gonna be, oh look, we have captive rabbits. Dinner.
In person.
So does that mean that
First,
the
yeah.
clothing?
Breeding, because
Especially
More
for the
rabbits.
winter.
more rabbits.
So does that mean the Vegapygmies just bred them, or did they eat them?
Oh,
I think they herd them in one area and probably did both.
so
You kill
that's
one
probably all
and
I'm going to
bury
be
it
worrying
in
about for
nutrients
4
and
days
plants,
is
so-
just collecting as much food as I can, worrying about the rabbits, finding someone to task for that individual or a handful of people, and that'll be my goal for the 4 days. I don't know if you were able to hear us, but I up to the group that let's finish out the week, get our stuff back, and then do the rituals because we don't necessarily know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's me.
All right.
Alright,
So-
anyone else do anything special?
The surface on the top of the mountain within the gates
Yes.
around the rune, all the
Yep.
rest of the area, is that all
There's
soil? or
there's
is it
some
bedrock,
topsoil
or-
that is maybe an inch, 2 inches thick.
Okay.
It's where it's there. It appears that it's just kind of
Just ground covering
yeah.
to make it easier
Yeah.
than walking on solid rock.
I was writing, and apparently I was shaking the table because they just asked me, "What's shaking?" That was me writing. Player had passed me a note card. All right. So your time goes by without incident. The stone is slowly getting moved up. You guys are able to see, like, oh yeah, that's russet mold down there. Good thing we don't need to go that way.
I'll probably be helping move the stone.
Yeah.
I guess I'll be with Etha trying to kind of look over this second rune stone.
Yeah, so Etha has given an interest to the rune stone. Just kind of a, this is fascinating. I am not sure why this is here. I mean, it has its own separate fuel chamber, but I am not sure why both of these would exist. One rune does the purpose of a rune, and putting another rune on it makes no sense. But she is able to verify things of Arkoth's story of, yeah, it's built in 2 tiers. He never knew what it was for, but the various symbols on it being translated as the third of the world anchors.
Yeah, but other than that, I guess I'll just play tunes and keep people's spirits up.
Yep. The weekends, you guys have had a long rest.
Yes.
Now, you said that Etha has like a ring that's like connected to the keystones or
She
ruins.
has a runic ring. Yes.
And they're connected to the ruins, correct? That's where she gets her powers?
She has a runic ring and her powers come from the ring, yes.
Okay. Because I didn't know if they came from the rune stones in the cities or whatnot, or just specifically from the ring.
She has a ring that appears to have powers, yes.
Okay. Because I was wondering if the second level
We have powers.
rune stone would have increased her powers.
Being away from a runestone in no way changes her powers.
Okay. I didn't know how that worked, so I was just
Gotcha.
asking.
Yep.
Top of the week. I say let's do the ritual.
Yep.
If everybody's
Alright.
good
Yep.
with it.
Sounds fun.
So, 6 stones are brought up and
6
set into a
balls.
semicircle. There would be room in the semicircle for a 7th and an 8th, however those stones are left vacant and no one is sitting there. So, as the table is divided, the 3 of you are set in 3 points. 3 of you, absent monk included, are set in 3 points. During which the rune, you guys are centered around the center of the rune, the lower rune. The runic fires are powered up. You can see just the faint glow of blue, purple, green mix of colors as the rune begins to power itself up. As it does, the stones that are sitting in front of you sit in small little divots, almost as if it's where they were supposed to be set. And there were, well, divots for 8 stones. As the rune begins to power and the runic bubble begins to kind of sit up and engulf the city, or what would be then what will be the city, you see the stones kind of begin to absorb and they hover just maybe 2 inches above the ground underneath them, each radiating a green-yellowish light. Not bright, not dim, just kind of, if you look at it in the dark, you would see it's lit up. At this point, I need everyone to make a con save.
Oh boy.
Con save.
Yep. DC 10.
Absolute whole
16.
Thank God.
5.
11.
20.
Gotcha. So at this point, Gorgia goes unconscious. Just kind of slumps over, chest on the stone. The rest of you, you would see a symbol that represents yourself begin to manifest itself on the stone in front of you.
Daisy.
A daisy.
Mine looks like a squid.
Daisy, squid, just various personal symbols begin to manifest on the stones. Con saving throw. DC 15. You don't need to make one, you're unconscious.
Okay.
That's an at 1.
Use a luck point. Ayo!
18.
19.
Alright, 2 people on the end. You see, the others just kind of begin to fall unconscious. You could feel as if your consciousness is being squeezed into a portion of your brain. That it's taking the entirety of your mental power, physical power to be like, nope, I'm still sitting up and I am still awake.
Holding my holy symbol.
Those 2 of you you see a single individual kind of appear in the center of the circle. Appears to be some form of human, about 20, 25, garbed in light. The light representing various articles of clothing, but shifting as you look at it. You can see him just turn to you. An unlocking ritual. This is good. Roll me con saves.
I rolled a 1 before.
Those of you who are
This is
still
what I'm
DC
Yeah, that's
15.
20.
Nat 20s.
That's cooked. Nope, I'm out.
And that's the last thing the two of you see. You guys drop down onto your stones. 1d4 hours. 4 hours later, woo! You guys all wake up.
Alright, it's lunchtime. I'm hungry.
The ritual was begun at sunrise. As such, it is about noon.
Alright. Just in time for lunch.
Alright.
At this point, I'm going to add a caveat, and we will take a quick break as you can all advance to level 2.
Yay.
So it shouldn't be that intensive. Go ahead and roll up whatever hit points you need. Take a look at your player's handbook.
Ooh.
See what you need.
7.
Do.
And
Where do I
you
talk to my god now?
7 hit points.
which deity you opted to worship?
Ketch.
Ketch. Okay.
Yep.
Lords above.
Hmm?
Lords above Pantheon, correct?
Yes.
Because he has a Lords above and a Fallen
So
Lords.
it didn't say anything about what his holy symbol is. Can I just make it whatever? Or what would his be?
So the only thing that is noted about the holy symbols and the god runes, as they're called, is they incorporate they're unique and elaborate in their own ways. I don't have one for him, but there is a god sign that would be
I
present.
have the one that I made for my druid.
Oh, you have one of the new god signs, yeah.
Yes.
That'd be a guardian.
I'm a god
sign.
in the other campaign.
No, you're a guardian in the other campaign.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I got cunning action.
I don't know if my guy became a god. The other campaign. He's getting close.
Oh, why did I draw it that small? I'm gonna draw it big so I can show chat
Oh,
as
that's
well.
cool. That's cool.
I'm the Grand Sentinel of Duality.
That's cool.
Nice.
Cool.
But like just that is like
Let me see this.
that's the baseline. So
Yeah, chat can kind of see it here. I'll pass this around. Yes, that's the baseline there.
So that's within
Whatever is
everything.
top there. That would be incorporated into every god sign in a prominent way.
They probably can't see that in chat. Can
They can't, but I showed them this. Which I had sketched it out.
they?
I'll make the lines a little bit darker, so...
I had two arts.
Any fun comments in chat so far?
And I was like,
eat the elf, murder the elf,
So I'll let him pick that.
Which elf?
See
all
out
of them.
However he wants to do it.
All the elves. Why would you?
There's a couple couple people saying don't eat the elf.
Don't eat the elf?
Thank
They're
you.
too chewy.
Yeah.
Gilrain appears to be on Team Elf.
Oh, great. Now the chat's gonna single them out.
She's got a couple people with her. I don't remember who's on Team Elf versus Team Eat the Elf. They have decided that the elf child will be allowed to grow up before he is eaten or murdered.
Well, that's good.
At least they have standards.
Yeah,
At least.
there we go. That's a better indication of the god sign there for those watching at home.
Oh, I can do the turn undead. Woo.
Yep, cleric, you gain your channel divinity ability.
Yep. And then... Oh, that's beginning 6th level. Undead. And that's just that one.
Well, Presidente, I showed it right side up. Technically, it would be hanging down like that. The orientation doesn't matter. But yes, you could view it as like a tree or a curved tree branch.
I have a question real quick about
Multi-classing.
Multi-classing at
Yes, I
level 2.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So,
Holy crap.
Do I know
What
the
the
skills
heck is
that
he
that class
multiclassing
gets?
into?
There's a multi-classing section in the book. It tells you what skills you get based on what class you multi-class into.
Okay.
Which one are you planning on doing?
Rogue. So,
Bard rogue.
sneak attack.
Bardic Rogue.
A hanging root of root. Oh, come on, chat. You guys know what this is.
Ooh, that's a good one. Path of the Grave. So, I can use my channel divinity to mark one creature's life force. Until my next turn, that creature has vulnerability to all attacks.
Nice.
Yeah. That'll be nice.
Yep.
A little bit.
That'll be one of those, like, plan to
It makes it
strike, force, yeah. It's
Well,
like, all right,
if I remember correctly,
The other thing
Channel
that really
Divinity
fun is
is
the fact
once
that
per
you're
long
just,
rest.
like,
That's a
really
once per week ability.
it is. But when we're going up against a big boss fight and I do a channel divinity right before the rogue gets a sneak attack, oh yeah, you talk about shotgun to the
You're
face.
assuming I'm going to hit.
Well,
Sort of.
so that'll be interesting.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'm just going to keep it super simple. I'm just not going to intrude. After all that, I'm just like, you know what?
All right.
Yep, I figured that was going to be when we hit level 2.
But yes, so functionally, the way unlocking works is this will allow you to quote-unquote level much more rapidly than your peers and anyone who would be otherwise in your position doing your thing. At
So-
level 2, you guys are pretty much veterans of what you're doing. Level 3, you're experts. Level 4, you're the person everyone goes to because you are the best.
Now,
I intend to run this campaign through 15.
now, do I need to roll something? But do
You
I
can
think
roll
that,
or take average for hit points.
Oh no. What I was gonna say is, would I have a feeling that we were gonna require to find more stones like this to level up, or is that
No.
okay? I just
Once you are unlocked, and you would notice this is the stones continue to bear your mark.
okay. I got you now.
You are
Picking up what
functionally
you're
now unlocked. That's happened. You're
Now-
not actively looking. Where's more level up stones? I need to find my level up stones.
Now, what are the marks for all of our ruined stones?
You can come up with any personal mark you would like it to
Alright.
be. They must incorporate the God sign, as all unlocked runes incorporate said God sign. Do we have anyone who is chaotic here? Alignment.
Chaotic good.
Chaotic neutral.
I'm gonna say yes. My character's gonna be chaotic.
Chaotic good.
Or, yeah.
The chaotic neutral is the only one. Wow. Did anyone choose to play chaotic evil? I didn't ban it.
No,
Alright,
no,
so the
no.
chaotic
clearly it's the
neutral.
bard.
Well, if I can.
I allow evil because
Chaotic evil druid.
if
Yeah.
evil is played, well, you have to play lawful. I think as druid, right? No. Okay, that's
There's
old.
whole modules where you're the boss is a chaotic evil.
Oh,
druid.
lovely.
Or not modules, but adventures.
Who was our
For the
chaotic
good of the
neutral?
forest, I'm going to burn down the
You
forest.
are given a different god sign.
So my symbolize to incorporate that.
Yes.
And for the chaotic good?
No. It was chaotic neutral or chaotic evil.
Okay, can I see that god sign again? I can write it down.
Is it the same one that Micah had?
Got it.
Is
It's
that
just
the
the
new
one-
one or the
That,
one now?
that is hers.
Oh, no, no.
Right.
I meant the photo he had of the
That-
God sign. Is that the one we are using?
That is the one everyone else is using, yes.
I might be able to make it work.
I was thinking more like squid.
I don't know.
There. So like that.
I'll have to get with you and some Photoshop and see how that goes.
Now, do you want us to get you the images by next week or just whenever?
It's up to you. You can if you want. I have no immediate use for them.
Alright.
But if I have them, I'll make them available.
I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Oh, you took
That makes sense. Yeah.
As soon as you said you did, just the immediate no's from outside.
All right. Everyone completed their level up.
Yes.
Gotcha. We'll give it a little bit. We've got one in the restroom taking a bio break. Cart be with him. And you're acquiring food.
Huh?
You're acquiring food?
Yeah, okay. I'll be there in just 1 second.
Yep.
What is your HP against? 17.
The other of you guys want some of the popcorn?
I rolled max an 8.
Beautiful.
Wait, I thought you had 9 hit points. If you got an 8, you're still at 17.
Plus
And
my
just
combo.
throw them
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Yep.
I did the average. I always take the average.
You guys need popcorn?
Sure.
Because this is the second bag. This is all that's left of my popcorn.
All right. So,
Yep, I'm good, man. Thank you.
you guys awake. It is noon. You feel fresh power rushing through your bodies.
Oh, my head hurts.
That is a proper response.
Feels like I got smacked by a hammer.
Those of you that resisted stronger have bigger hangovers.
Oh, so I got smacked by a tentacle. All right, I've had this happen before. Late nights, man.
Hello, my friends. How are you doing this Friday morning?
Stop yelling. There's no reason to yell.
So I would assume I have the worst, because I mean the
I'm gonna smack him harder next time.
smallest headache, because I went out like immediately.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
At least
I don't see what the
food,
problem
so-
is, guys.
Stop yelling.
I feel fine.
We will properly method act this by getting everyone drunk to the appropriate amount, sleeping here tonight, and then role-playing this at 5 a.m.
I've done D&D games here like that.
Please, you're gonna have to do better than that. I'm used to working night shift. With
But then you
12-hour
have to
shifts.
deal with my 4 a.m. alarms going off,
Yeah.
because that's when I get up.
We did when we played 3-5. We did a drunk D&D night.
I'm
Didn't
game.
go as well as we'd hoped.
It can go really well. Or
Yeah,
really
some people,
bad.
some people.
Well,
just get
everybody needs to
angry.
cut off right at that point where they can still function if they're tipsy.
Well,
And
I've
that's
never
no
been
more.
drunk, so I have no idea what it feels like.
But
All right.
It's not fun.
So,
Don't drink.
what do you guys want to do?
Kids stay
Well,
in school.
actually, I can tell you what you need to do. You guys are at that point in the campaign where you're starting to form the government and figure out how stuff works.
We are
Do
the
what I tell you and
dictatorship.
we'll be okay.
So, the government style for this we are a Kingmaker campaign.
Yes.
So it is kingdom building, administrative work in addition to the roleplay.
Yep.
Let me pull up a list because I have a list of. You guys need to think of how you want to run the government.
All right, guys, are you ready?
Regardless
to elect a
of
leader?
what you choose,
commune.
regardless of what you choose, there will be a role for everyone. Even if it's like a despotic monarchy, you still need a finance advisor. You still need a head diplomat. It's just saying how much the person who's running the government and the government as a whole can control the populace or interacts with the populace.
All right.
So
Who wants to be on the Senate?
I think we should do is, my vote is do a council. Only a few elected officials, probably like a head overseer, not really one charge, but kind of like one to keep discussions kind of civil.
So like a small Senate.
Basically, an open lord, somewhat what Waterdeep has. Like they have the lords a lot, like the masked lords, and then they have the open lord, who is the one everyone goes to, but isn't really fully in charge. They'd probably be the heads of the different things we need, like I guess head of mining, head of agriculture, stuff like that.
Head of execution.
No, there's not that position.
Not yet.
Actually. We don't talk about that position. How do we elect those people? We want them to be meritocracy, just like the most efficient person for each position. Like,
I mean, that would be the logical choice.
yeah.
Also,
I mean,
you
you
have
figure
a
out
person.
exactly what positions need to be filled.
Okay. Well, we need head of agriculture.
I mean, what better person than a druid?
Head of agriculture, head of like
agriculture.
hunting, head of the mines.
Head of scouting.
Grand Poobah.
Head.
Well-
We'll call head of industry for the mines.
Okay.
The Grand Poobah Citadel. In charge of this and
Yeah,
that.
I'm finding the page in my notes where I have the required offices written in.
That'll help.
All right, so there must be
And a
these
mercantile.
5 offices. Now, you can appoint NPCs to offices. So you can say, hey, I want to do this, and just say this NPC's in this spot. So, caveat that. Because I'm listing off 5 and there's 6 of you, that doesn't mean only one person gets to play with their cool idea. There must be a leader. So, the leader, their job is to assist another advisor. So if it, again, we're going to, monarchy is the easiest for me to describe. So the king won't actually do anything. The king will turn his attention to one of the offices and assist with that office doing its job. So treat him as your jack of all trades.
Okay.
There must be a treasurer.
I was going to say, before you continue,
Okay.
do you want to go ahead and figure it out one by one, or give out the list?
Let me give out the
Okay.
list first, because there are stats tied to these, and so that matters.
Okay.
Oh, so we have to have a certain stat to.
Exactly. Your treasurer will need intelligence. That is the only stat that can be used by a treasurer.
Shame. Shame.
The other 3 requires are a commander, a magister, and a counselor. Those 3 can each use any mental stat of their choosing. Charisma, wisdom, intelligence.
What was that?
Magister, counselor, treasurer, commander.
Yes. And leader.
Okay.
However you want to put those into your government.
I really don't know what some of those do.
Is the
So
just slightly
the
failed
commander
exercise.
is going to functionally be anything related to military.
Okay.
That can be, if you need to delegate, you can delegate, and then you have a guard commander, and then you have a army commander. Right now it's just going to be local militia stuff.
Okay.
The magister is a head of magic, both divine and arcane. The counselor is your resident diplomat.
Say that again.
Counselor is your resident diplomat. But you can do intelligence-based diplomacy, wisdom-based diplomacy, or charisma-based
Well,
diplomacy.
we found a job for the bard.
It's however you want to do it. Now, the leader, if your leader wants to assist the treasurer, your leader's intelligence matters. if your leader wants to assist the commander, and the commander has said, hey, I lead by wisdom, then the leader has to use their wisdom. Because there is already an established style for how things are being run. But because the leader... Now, early on, the leader can say, hey, there's no office of whatever the hell I want to do. I'm going to go do that. Then we'll pull an appropriate mental stat.
I have good intelligence and wisdom, but I'm negative in charisma.
Do we want to take these positions?
I say put George as a leader.
I don't think we should do that.
Well, his diplomatic
I think the leader
skills
needs to
are
be the last.
Not
that we
that too
choose.
great.
No, George needs to be in charge of the treasury.
And we don't know what his intelligence is.
Exactly. He's still sane after all these years.
Olga Han, I will say, did manage to keep his people alive for a number
We
of
need
years.
to vet this person before we appoint
Yeah.
them to a standing in a caravan that they
But this
were
is-
not a part of.
This is more of just putting things out there.
Yes. No, I understand.
Yeah, I put him as maybe contender for the commander of the military position.
I'm taking that.
You're doing that
Yeah.
for sure? Okay.
And that's me playing my character. He would be the first one saying, no, that's me.
Okay,
All
so
right.
Severos.
How are you leading? Intelligence?
Wisdom. I'm going to be a cleric commander.
So the wisdom style of intelligence is one that is based in on-the-field tactics, not rooted in grand strategy, but also not rooted in an officer corps. So quality troops, look, small unit tactics, get out there, get it done.
Yep.
That is
That would
going to
be
be-
how my...
Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
That
I
is-
mean, that would be how
Yeah.
my character would approach the matter is small groups, effective.
Yeah, that will be the how a wisdom skill applies there, and it's great that it fits because that's what it's designed to.
And would that also not tend to make groups that were more self-sufficient and didn't rely on direct orders from a commander to go? They can
Yes.
be sent out and they will get whatever needs done, even if it's something that they didn't expect.
That would
like,
be their goal, yes.
Yeah.
The decentralized military.
Yep.
Where examples for militaries would be Carthage was a wisdom-based military, Rome was a charisma-based military, and the United States is an intelligence-based military. Because the United States is based on... The United... Well, here's the thing.
I understand.
We're based
It
on
makes sense.
logistics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Based on
The United
It's all
States
numbers.
logistics is what funds the military. Therefore, that makes it an intelligence-based military.
It's a numbers crunch game.
Yep.
A lot of it.
Exactly. It's somebody who's sitting off in an armchair, just doing their thing. An army of bureaucrats.
I trump your one with my two. Ha!
It's like the card game War.
Pretty much.
Alright. Any suggestions for, was it magistrate?
Magistrate's the head of magic. Do we know anyone
Yeah.
in the caravan that can use magic other than us?
No.
I'm
Well,
Bard. You think I
there's,
know?
There's
I'm a
Etha.
full caster.
What?
I'm a full caster. I've got
Yeah.
good
I mean,
intelligence. and
you're a
wisdom.
lot better than me. I'm like, I was
The
going.
only one
Magister
I know
is
Etha.
of choice. Treasurer is the intelligence-based one.
So what we need to do is we need to figure out who amongst the populace
Now,
that we have.
You guys did bring a noble merchant family with you.
Yes, we did.
I believe the leader of that was on.
I think it's Anu, but
Amu?
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, Anu.
There we go.
Yeah.
I gave out the name, and I don't write down all the names.
It's just,
I rely on you
basically
guys to
one
correct
of
me when
the
I'm wrong.
Children of the houses that ran, that funded this whole expedition.
Why one of the children?
The actual family had a functioning business back in the old world. They couldn't really leave it. Their eldest was going to inherit it, so he couldn't come, and she was the second in line for it. So they sent her to kind of try and make
So
business.
that's who I would pick, not the. I don't know how many is here, per
Just
se.
just her.
And yeah, I definitely want to sit down with her and talk to her.
Yeah.
So how about we pick one station and start worrying about who's going to fill that one station instead of going around and just
All right.
throwing out names for each station.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, logical choice is to pick one, stick with it, figure it out, move to the next.
Magister.
All right, Magister. Who amongst the caravan, not including us, can use magic?
Etha.
That's what I thought.
That's what we got.
You would have people who would be capable, but treat them as early level 1.
Yeah.
You didn't have any magical experts. They would have been on, I believe ship 4 had the magical experts.
Doesn't Etha have to go back to that one place though?
Mm-hmm.
Etha is not intending to. She might stay here. She would not be wanting to sit on the council.
Okay. So that means
She does not want to go on the council.
Correct.
Is it one of those things where it's like she's already been doing this for a long time? She doesn't need more.
She
of that.
was in your position on the 3rd expedition.
Yeah.
That's 250 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
She remembers.
She is technically on the council of the Citizens Landing.
Would she be willing to take it temporarily while coaching one of the NPCs that can use magic to be basically better?
She could do that, yes.
That's where I would go with it as well.
All right, so
So
Is
we
that-
would.
yes.
She will work with individuals and on her own acquire someone who would fit.
We would task her to fill the position for the time being, but find an appropriate
and kind of write us
Replacement.
replacement before she leaves.
We were sent here to be the leaders.
Yeah, the problem is that we're going to be venturing out and doing stuff, so we can't run anything. We're gone. So what if something happens?
So the
here,
way-
that's when
The
step
way
up.
that Kingmaker advances is when we advance it a tick, we are advancing a week. An adventure will likely take a couple weeks. You guys are expected to be on the High Council and in charge of things. There will be NPCs under you that you can give orders to, hey, while I'm gone, do the thing. Those will just be kind of handled remotely. NPCs will come in and start to get skills based on how you treat them, how they do on their jobs. Somebody who rolls a nat 20 might earn themselves a name. Somebody who rolls a nat 1 might earn themselves a name.
So
And they'll begin to get benefits or penalties toward their jobs.
eventually, what we need to do is the same thing as what we're going to have her do. Is since if we leave the encampment, we have to have suitable people to fill our positions while we're gone if something was to arise.
Yep.
Eventually, I understand that's going to take time. So we need to start working towards it as soon as we name ourselves and start testing people in our categories to see who is going to be the best fit starting out.
Counselor.
And work with them.
Lead diplomat.
Well,
Lead diplomat, person with the lucky feet.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
like-
bear in mind that the lucky feet could also be useful for the leader, as that's the other major office, and he can work on anything.
That is true.
Yeah.
The counselor
But then
will not
giving
work
him
on
leader
money.
status.
Ever.
Giving the bard leader status is not going to be good.
You're a civilization of seduction. Let's go to the giants.
Chat has volunteered to be the diplomat.
Oh yeah.
Chad is the NPC.
So this
Wait,
is
hold on.
a
Isn't
this
this
is a
the one
point
that
where
tried
I'm
to
going to go ahead and
genocide
pause.
elves?
You guys
Yes.
can continue talking among yourselves. Chat, we do allow, if you subscribe to the channel, for you guys to send me details for an NPC that you want.
You could
That is-
control an NPC that would be the leader.
That is how you can get
That would be
people
amazing.
No,
who will
all right,
start
it's gonna
getting
go
into
badly.
Time
It's
to
gonna be
start
so
making-
fun though.
It's gonna go so badly.
They're gonna want to pull in like the cultist leader that starts this thing that we have to deal with and
God,
destroy our facility from inside.
No, please, Lord.
Just keep in mind, if you try and put an NPC in that tries to screw us over, we can kill that NPC.
Yeah.
Discreetly,
So-
we have 2 rogues now.
Let's see.
So what position would you guys want me to fill? I could do diplomat. I could do leader.
Is there anyone else that would also be particularly good at diplomat or leader?
Oh, those would be.
Anu, basically. Like she's from a mercantile family, so
She's penciled into treasurer at the moment.
Yes.
treasure.
Yes.
Diplomat would
Didn't
be
you say you
based
had
on
a high
charisma.
charisma?
I have a 14 charisma, so that's a +2. So
I'll tell you what. what is your alignment?
Chaotic good.
Okay. You're still technically on the good side, so
Technically.
because I'm right there with him, so I understand where he's coming from. So how about we do this? And as much as I'm going to regret saying this,
Don't worry, I'll take the lucky feet.
no, you don't necessarily need it, but we
Are
can
you sure
have
about
you
that?
as the diplomat, and since the leader is a lot more versatile, you in the leader spot and help everybody else.
Okay.
To where even if you have a diplomatic situation, you still have the bard on your side. Whereas if we chose somebody else, it would be that person and the bard.
Basically, I'd be putting out your diplomatic stuff in front of you while also going inspirational.
Alright, boss.
I mean, I feel that even in the situation, bard being a bard, he'd be good in any situation due to his.
I literally have a thing that I will get at the next
Yes.
level that's called Jack of all trades.
Yes, that's why. And I feel that having that individual as the leader, quote unquote.
You do have a monk to also place.
Oh crap.
High
I
wisdom.
don't remember his stats.
What do you think,
that?
Gojo?
High wisdom because he's a monk.
Right.
What do you want to do, Gojo? Answer me.
We
Hold
can
on
put
one
him
second,
as
I'll
the
call him.
diplomat. We can put him as the diplomat, can't we? The monk
He
is a
probably-
diplomat.
He would be able to function as a diplomat.
That would be a good diplomat. No offense.
Well, yeah, backstabbing isn't technically the
We don't want.
best.
I don't know if you want the rogue being a diplomat.
But yeah, actually, to be honest, having a monk, someone who's controlled and being able to control his emotions, would not be a bad idea.
Considering my emotions change seasonally.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I need to
I
check
think
what
we're
how
gonna
I'm
stick
how
with
emotional
Gojo
I
We
am
to
don't
this
want the
season.
we don't want the diplomat trying to. His first big thing is getting us a shitload of shovels we won't need.
I'm gonna need that pile of supplies that we talked about the other day.
All right, it is
Need that
summer.
white
I don't
pie.
give a shit right now. That is legit what I have written down. In the summer, my personality is I don't give a shit.
Well, there we go.
Okay, so then I'm leader. Anu is the treasurer.
Yep.
Etha's teaching a magister.
Yep.
Monk is the counselor, and Severos is commander.
Yep. I do not have a role for Sprout or Fish.
Sprout is, I think, effectively taking over. We don't have an actual position for it, but it's head agriculture, I would assume. And your whole thing's gonna be trying to get us like
What would
plants
you
and
want?
food and growing stuff like that. Like, is there something else?
Whatever needs to be done.
An office along those lines, I mean, as a druid, technically that's typically a separate social class. So saying head druid would in itself be a title.
Head druid.
You are the head druid of
It
this
kind
area.
of goes into, like, the agriculture. It also dips in a little bit into the magic.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on
No,
what type
for-
of magic.
Yeah, I mean, you would have
Yeah,
some
sure.
overlap with
How
other
about Head of
individuals.
scouting.
The Magister would
Head
likely
ranger,
consult
like,
with
looking
you
out
if
for
there's
threats
anything
from the
specific.
wilderness.
Head consultant.
Same thing.
Hey guys,
Head scout.
just kind of dawned on me. Why don't, since as a druid you are able to use magical arts, why don't you assist the role of magistrate with
Etha.
Magic.
Etha, and learn from her on more magical, the other magic side,
Mhm.
and be able to fill both roles instead of creating two.
Well, you will pick one role. He can still be a head druid and a magister, but
Yeah.
picking a head druid role is different than picking a magister role.
That's fair.
Mostly because everything the head druid can, most things the head druid could do, the magister could do.
So that's up to you, but at least that's one less person you have to worry about.
So pencil you in as the magister in training.
Alright.
Cool with that?
Fish.
I brought that up to begin with.
Oh, I didn't even.
No,
I didn't even hear you.
I heard it. It's just that I assumed that we were going to use the 18, the super high level magic user we got, but she didn't want it, so I figured.
If she's going to stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, that's
why
what
we had
that's
teaching.
what decided.
I was saying,
So-
if you wanted it to do that, since you're
Who do we have written down right now?
Thing.
Devin in the leader's role,
Did you have like an
Amu in the
anti-civilization
treasurer's
thing
role,
as a druid?
Severos in
I'm
the commander
specifically
role,
here to help build
Sprout
civilization.
in the magister role,
I've literally trained for it most of my life.
Gojira in the counselor's
Come
role,
here.
and Fish in no role.
Alright. And I don't have a role either then.
That's right, you got removed out of the role.
Sorry.
Because you guys finally dawned on you. You know, we just appointed the rogue as our head diplomat.
Who in the summer? Who in the summer doesn't give a shit.
It's
The
true.
perfect diplomat.
No.
So,
Good luck.
you have two
Fish.
people to assign roles.
Hobgoblins.
Yeah,
So,
Fish.
Fish.
You can. What I would suggest for you, since your whole thing is scouting / kind of hunting,
Hunting monsters, especially.
I would probably kind of make a position for you that's under the commander as like head of a scout recon division.
Rank head.
So a
Ranger or
sub-commander or
something.
something like that?
Yeah.
I
basically-
wouldn't put it that way.
Or a lieutenant.
I'm not going to have one of my party members be underneath.
Yeah, so the way it would be spun off would be as a commander, he would be in charge of the military. If you get input of the chart of the scouts and hunters, you're in charge of what happens outside the city walls and
I'm
boundaries.
inside the city walls. You are outside the city walls.
So you would also be commanding like a local guard.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be
Commander would be
protection
guard,
of
and
the
if the
city.
guard need to march out as an army, he's still in control even though they leave the walls. But if he needs scouts, that's her.
the church controls the city.
kind of the
Yes.
Yes. The fish boy.
Alright, Mr. Pope.
Yeah.
You, what would we do? You're rogue.
Yes. With a +4 in persuasion.
What's your deception and stuff like that?
Sprout, wisdom, right?
4.
Wisdom, right?
Or
Yes.
fairly high then?
Yeah.
You
I
got
tell you
sleight
what.
and sleep. What about intelligence
I wouldn't.
division? You know, some things stealth.
How about we need to?
What
need
is
to
your
word
primary
this
mental
just a little
stat,
bit different.
Fish?
For them to, since
Wisdom.
they are very close in their skill range. Fish, your reason for being here is to find new and exciting creatures, correct?
Or like threats to the city
Why
that
don't we
are
have you in hunting?
Hunting would be in scouts.
Okay. Well, there's
It's-
two different scouts that I'm thinking of. Scouting for food and hunting and that type of scouts. And scouts as information gathering. And
Right
actually,
now, this comprises about 10 people. They're filling both roles. You're not large enough to spin the roles off because you'll be like, all right, each one of you gets 5 people.
I could be the Inquisitor.
Alright.
As you're the elf, chat has voted you court fool.
Ooh!
No.
Oh, thank God nobody knows what to try.
Sea elf or plant elf?
Well, what do you want to do?
I mean, I could be the jester. I have a +5 to acrobatics.
What do you
You could be in charge of a route.
That would be functionally a city organizer type role, which would, as more cities would spring up, a people's organizer, ambassador to the peoples type thing. That would encompass.
Answer to the people.
Well, here's the
Out in
thing.
the
That would
open.
encompass intelligence services.
That is true. Knowing what's going on around the city or encampment.
It sounds benevolent, but if you think about it,
Wait,
that
are
sounds
you
like
putting me
how
in
we have a
customer
communist
service?
KGB.
Yes, this is the help.
I quit Walmart for a reason.
I'm very sure People Services is what they title the KGB now as. So,
Well, what do you think, man?
just a yes or no, man.
Well, we already got a role for the diplomat, and my proficiencies were more like deception, persuasion, stuff like that.
All of that will still be able to be used in any of the roles you pick up.
Okay.
Because you will be picking a mental stat to base it off of. And if you want to run it on charisma, you are bred in circuses.
What if you just go and like handle like amongst the people handle like requests from them, like you kind of like look out for if they have any gripes or anything like that. Or
So yeah, customer service.
Basically.
Head of customer service it is.
Well, we're not forcing you into a role.
We're just giving you ideas. You just gotta say yes or no to some.
So, where do you think that you would be the most help?
I personally was wanting to do the diplomat.
Okay.
We have an NPC that.
I tell you what.
I'd say
monk.
the monk could switch out, and
Yeah, the monk could definitely.
you're
do,
here. You get first dibs.
Yeah. Because the diplomat is probably what I'm best
Yeah,
suited
send
for.
out the dragonborn for the diplomat, or not the diplomat, for the customer service. That's gonna be great.
Yeah. I don't
You have a
like
problem?
you.
Pissing me
Fire
off.
breath.
Fire breath just everywhere.
With your
All right.
arrangements. No, good.
So the dragon is in charge of internal affairs, and the rogue is in charge of diplomacy.
Perfect.
How do you
Okay.
feel about
Nothing can go wrong.
That feels good.
Cut to
Diplomacy
2 days.
/ assassination.
Cut to 2 days later, and there's people knocking down
So
our doors and
politics.
the whole city's on
Yes.
fire.
So what is Dragonborn?
We
So
were
you're a
talking about
politician now.
Gojira?
We were talking
He
about
is on
assassination
internal
earlier,
affairs.
so let's play the game.
Yeah. All right.
And so that's going to put you as a charisma counselor.
Yep. That is my second best stat. Yes.
All right. So,
The chat.
with that sorted out, what are you guys wanting to do? You have stone to set up a single building. In the one single permanent. To call it a single building is partially wrong. If you wanted to set up like a shops district, you get a couple shops because they won't be built to. Oh, we need this to be solid to withstand a solid beating. But if you wanted to make, say, a solid center of government, like to call it, well, how? All right, we're not done because I just realized I didn't know what to call it. What type of government is it?
Miscellaneous.
Well,
it's a
we're having a
council.
council,
So you have a
But
leader.
it's a meritocracy, so it's not elected.
Republic?
Isn't Republic elected now?
It
Representatives?
can be.
I don't know anything about politics. Like government stuff,
So-
I'm out. I have no knowledge.
Yeah.
Of this.
Technically,
I
the
know I
leader
learned
is
it.
going to be the one setting that.
Did
So
not
that's
take
on
it.
your bard to
Okay.
figure out how he, as a leader, wants to run this.
Alright. I'll try and figure it out.
He's running it
We
as
need
a
to be able to
communist city.
veto him
So-
if we need to.
Meritocracy, you can.
Well, here's the thing,
It's gotta
even
be
in-
at least 75% majority of the ruling council.
Even in a medieval kingdom, the king never had absolute authority.
Yeah.
He did on paper,
Yeah.
but the king was always readily aware that if I try to stab these 4 people, I lose.
All right.
Yeah.
So
So, I would say it's, we were doing Republic, Senate of the Republic. It's a meritocracy, so it's not elected officials. It's based on the top position, with the most experienced and or unanimously agreed upon as the top pick for whatever different division it is.
Democratic Republic?
It's not democratic elections. It's a republic.
I don't know much about politics and governments, so.
We need Caleb here.
Okay.
oh god, yes we
What
do.
do we want to
He
call
works
the,
for the DA.
Seth, you,
Oh.
We should call the leader God Emperor, obviously.
No.
you got what
Emperor,
I'm
Mr.
saying though,
Bard.
right?
Yeah,
Okay, so that's effectively what it is. I will look up and see if it actually has a name.
yeah.
Chat, look it up and see if it has a name.
Chad has determined that it is either monarchy, totalitarian, or dictatorship, with
It's none
one
of
person
those.
voting for dictator or meritocracy based on killing elves. Empire all the way.
Your chat really hates elves.
They're not wrong. Chad is
So
never
if you
wrong.
remake a character, you gotta fill that role. Just FYI.
Okay, if my character dies, I need to make a super elf.
Super elf.
What would you call an Eladrin then?
A super elf.
Exactly,
Yeah.
man. Like
You don't-
pick the
you don't get
elfiest
much-
elf you could pick.
That's what I was about to say. You don't get much more elf here than a lad.
Yeah. All right.
Like, close second
So-
is high elf.
You can either set up some sort of district, or you can set up a seat of government, seat of power.
Or just to get a little bit more of a understanding of where this is.
Yes.
We are in a mountain, or we are
On the top of a mountain.
On the top of a mountain.
Technically, the top of the mountain was magically removed.
Okay, so I would like to use the stone that we have to build semi-functioning shelter for as many people as we can.
Okay, so you're going to be transitioning from...
It's an oligarchy.
Yes. So you're going to be transitioning from the semi-temporary shelters, canvas and wood, to stone shelters.
Yes.
That is the vote of the military. The person in charge of internal affairs was the person who's not here.
I can call him. No. He's probably knocked out, to be honest.
Hunger game filled with elves? Okay.
Is that a one-shot that we're going to do?
Yes.
So what's happening now?
You guys are figuring out what the one building you guys are wanting to set up is, or one district you're wanting to set up is. Housing was the first thing voted upon.
Yep.
Yeah, I would support housing. What kind of housing do we have out now? Do we just have tents?
You guys have wood and semi-permanent tents, yes. Think yurts and the like, where it's like, you've got tents and canvas material, but it's built around a wood solid frame.
All it takes is
housing would be a good start.
Yeah, I think we do housing first.
Okay. With that, you'll get one sort of luxury type building with it. Some sort of not industry producing anything, but think of it like a civilian industry. Example Chad is giving of this would be a tavern.
Yeah, tavern, definitely.
Well, we do need a bunch of alcohol for those mushrooms.
We don't need alcohol.
A tavern isn't a tavern more for like visiting people? That has like
it would have inn and basic housing with it, yes.
It would be more for morale, to keep people going about their day, because they're the ones who are actually going to get stuff done.
So yeah, I guess a tavern or a nice tavern. Let's do a nice tavern.
Whatever you're building now is a nice building.
Yeah, it can't be like a brewery, right?
No, brewery would be different.
No, breweries are all better.
Tavern, a place to set up for food distribution.
Distribution.
Yes.
Big word.
Okay, so
I know it's too many syllables for
Use
me.
your big words.
We'll set up a tavern. We have a name for it?
God.
First rest.
The lucky fish.
Yes, immediately suggests names it after me, says the scout.
The Lost Shovel.
That's contender.
I like it. I like it.
Are we gonna go with Lost Shovel?
The rusty shovels.
The rusty shovel.
Alright, so what's the name of our tavern?
Hold on. I would name it
and
something
shovels?
that would actually inspire people to do more. I'd say A New Hope.
That's cheesy.
It is cheesy, but looking at it every day and the face of
Okay,
the
but think of
the
it
first
this way:
state.
we might get sued by George Lucas.
What about the first state?
Fair enough.
Only
I didn't
if
even think about that.
Only if we set our government up as a republic.
The first steak?
Something.
Makes me hungry.
No, that's a good thing for a tavern.
Yeah.
Where am I? The first steak? Ooh, I want steak.
Well, steak as in like steak in the ground.
Yeah.
I
don't know if there's celery.
I challenge you to hammer a steak into the solid stone floor.
Challenge accepted.
And then eat it without using a fork.
Make
So
sure you put it
what's-
in a fault line.
What's the name? It's either the Lost Shovel,
Don't give me
first
ideas.
steak.
You know I'm going with the Lost Shovel.
Alright, we'll do the
Lost
Lost Shovel.
shovel.
The lost shovel.
Yes!
You have made your mark.
I told you I would get a shovel.
And you've got one.
Well, it's not yours. It's everyone's. You can share it if you want.
You got a shovel so big it can be shared with everyone.
But you can't
Exactly.
be taken anywhere.
Probably for the better.
But you will forever call this place the Lost Spear.
Chat has suggested the seductive shovel.
Oh, we need to get a sentient shovel as a bartender for it.
It couldn't do anything.
Just have
Well,
it.
Unless it knew Mage Hand.
Unseen servant, technically. So Lost Shovel or Surface Shovel? I think Lost Shovel because it makes more sense. Lost Shovel it is.
Alrighty. With that, the town is in order. They are going about beginning construction on this. They anticipate it to take a week as all the stone is cut. It was previously building stone. They're going to be reinforcing their timber and canvas with stone and then setting up the tavern.